All right. So welcome to week 3 of our Healthy Back Yoga. Let's go ahead and get started. Coming to your mat. And I've taken, I have 2 pillows here that are going to support my head and upper back, and I've sort of stacked them here. I've taken my blanket and I've rolled it because it's going to like that so that it will support my spine. I have my bricks on either side of my mat as well as my belt. So that's just about everything we're going to need today. Now, we're going to sit in front of the mat, or excuse me, of the blanket. The hips are on the mat. And then I'm going to lean back onto the blanket, check the pillows. And before we get fully into it, let's take our belt. And we're going to make a big loop. Try not to twist it. Go through 2 loops and back through 1. Okay. And we want a nice big loop, and we're going to put it over head, shoulders, and bring it down around our hips. And make sure the metal part isn't on any skin anywhere. And then I'm putting my bricks underneath my knees for support, and you can put them at whatever level you may need, higher, whatever. Taking the belt, I'm going to bring it over, it's around my hip bones, so low in the back and over the hip bones. And then you have to fiddle with this a little bit to find putting it over the toes. So I'm bringing my toes together in front of me, and then just finding a position that works, bringing the feet as close to the body as is comfortable. This is mainly just to give you some support as we're in the position. It's not urgent that the feet are against the body, but wherever is comfortable. Again, making sure the knees are supported with the brick. We're going to come down onto our forearms and lay down. And again, adjusting the pillows as needed, lifting the hips and running your hands underneath the glutes to lengthen the tailbone, and then settling down with the spine supported by our blanket. This is Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined goddess or reclined bound angle pose. When you're in your position and you've done your fiddling around here to get comfortable, bringing your hands to the side of your body with your palms facing up. This is a great relaxation pose. It's again just a wonderful relaxation pose, a good pose for for stress or any kind of back pain, to just spend a few minutes in this pose whenever you feel you need it. So closing the eyes and just quieting the mind now. If you'd like to set an intention for class, feel free to do that now. And then again, just checking the body out as you're relaxing here. Just maybe noticing, maybe rolling the head very slowly side to side, making sure that your jaw is relaxed, your neck isn't tight. Relax the shoulders, moving a little around a little bit, making sure the hips are relaxed, and just let the body settle in. And when you're ready, begin to focus on the breath, again through the nose, inhalation and exhalation. Feeling the air, the cool air as it enters the nose at the tip. And then feeling the warm rush of air as you exhale again through the nose. Beginning to slow the breath down. as slow as is comfortable. And I'm going to do some counting just to see if we can count it 6 to 8 beats for inhale and then for the exhale. So exhaling and then begin. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale. Keep the breathing very relaxed, very smooth. 6, 7, 8. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. You continue this. If 8 is too many, just do what feels comfortable. I'm going to stop counting, but keep on breathing. Noticing the rise and fall in the chest as you inhale and exhale. Maybe if it suits you to have a bit of a mantra going on during the inhalation, maybe inhale love, exhale peace. And let's do a couple more breaths on your own. And when you're ready, although it can be tempting to stay here for all morning, take the hands, bring them under the knees and gently lift the knees off the bricks, working the feet out of your belt. You can open your eyes if you'd like. Lift the hips up and bring the belt off your legs. Rolling off your belt and pillows onto your side. And then you can move them out of the way. We're done with them for now. And then coming back onto your back. Got all your stuff out of the way. And again, gently letting the back settle into the floor. With your hands on the side of on each side of the body, the palms but now facing down. My feet are on the floor with my knees bent. Let's just lift the hips and give them a little shimmy. Waking up the lower back. And release. Again, inhale, lift and shimmy. Waking up the GI system as well. Belly. And exhale down one more time. Inhale, lift. Shake and release the hips. And down. Bring the knees, the feet are wide on either side of the earpiece. on either side of the mat. Let's just windshield wiper the legs from side to side, gently, only going as far as is comfortable, just gently loosening up the lower back and the hips. And when you're ready, bringing the knees to the center, bring the knees now over the body, hands in front of the legs, interlocking the fingers and just doing some little circles with the small of the back against the floor. And then let's bring the feet down to the floor again, about hip width apart. And begin with your hands behind the thighs to rock the lower spine. Head is still on the mat here, just rocking back and forth along the lower spine. When you're ready, you can lift the head, tuck the chin, and begin to lift the legs and roll along the spine gently here. Keep the chin against the chest so that the spine remains rounded. Going the length of the spine, nice and slow here. And when you've had enough of that, feel free to roll up to a seated position. Again, and in a seated position, if you're having trouble doing cross-leg here, you can use the bricks as well for support or a pillow, or you can just simply loosen the legs to whatever suits you. With your hands on your knees, let's drop the neck, the chin rather, and inhale, let's go do some neck rolls to your left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale down to the other side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Check your jaw and your shoulders, keep them down, and exhale, other side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, inhale, 2, 3, really feeling the full circle of the neck joint, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's go the other way. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale down the other side. 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow, so you really notice what's going on with your neck today. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep those shoulders down and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opening your eyes now. We've done cats and cows. Now we're going to do yet another variation of cats and cows to flex the upper thoracic part of the spine. With our hands on our knees, we're going to inhale, pulling the shoulders back by squeezing those muscles between the shoulder blades and opening and stretching the muscles in front of the body and the heart space, looking up, and then exhale, pressing out between the shoulder blades. Just that one area we're working today. Then inhale, same, squeeze the shoulder blade, looking up, and exhale, pressing through the shoulder blades, pressing that out. Inhale, opening, stretching the front of the body, and exhale. Just do a few of these at your own. One more. Inhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale. Rolling out, pressing through the between shoulder blades. And then coming to center, interlocking your fingers. Let's press out and press out through that same area by extending the arms and the top of the spine between the shoulder blades. And release, shake it out. Interlock the fingers again with the other thumb on top this time, pressing out. And release. Now, coming back on your hands, and let's uncross the legs and take a wide stance with your feet. And we're going to just do some rolls to the side, and the knees are bent again. We're going to come over onto your left side. This time we're going to reach with the arms. So you're reaching for something that's right behind you. You can't quite grab it. And then come back to the other side, onto the other arm. Reach up and behind. And just play with this a little bit, slowly rolling. I keep slipping things, I have to keep pulling myself back, but just slowly rolling, getting a nice little twist, flexibility here. Side to side, inhale, reach. And exhale, release. And then when you're ready, let's start doing like some lasso arms. So instead of a reach, do a couple of straight arm rolls as you reach back. It's like a lasso, like you're doing a lasso. Again. Working into the shoulder. Use the neck. 2, 3 or 4 or 5 on each side, whatever feels good to you. Depending on, again, what's going on with your body this morning. And when you're done with that, coming onto the side, we're going to reach again and lift the hips. So I'm coming up onto my knees and then down. Rolling over to the other side, reaching with that upper arm, lifting the hips and reaching behind and down. Lifting the hips as high as you can without going crazy, just a nice lift. A little strengthening here. If you can only get off the floor a little bit, that's fine too. We're working with where you are. And again, maybe as you're doing this video throughout the week, this practice, add on an extra reach to develop a little bit more strength every time. A bit more flexibility. And when you're ready with that, you can come back to center. Let's come onto all fours. We're going to do some bird dogs. Now, again, if you have knee issues, you can either put the blanket under your knees for softening, or you can do some bird dogs. You can put the belly over a chair, a hard-backed, armless chair, to keep the weight off of the knees. I showed that, I believe, in our lesson 1. So on our fours, with our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips, let's reach out with the opposite arm and leg, kicking out the back heel, reaching with the right, where we're trying to keep the hips set flat. And then bring the knee into, rather the elbow into the knee and touch. Let's do a couple of these, reach and touch. Reach, kicking with that heel and touch. Let's do 2 more, reach and touch. I like when I said a couple, I meant 5. Sorry. And then let's do the other side again, trying to keep as though you had a glass of water on that hip back there. Touch, very slow. Touch. And touch, working this wonderful back strengthener. Touch and come back to center. Now, lifting your left knee behind you, the other left problem, and let's just do some knee circles. Again, just circling into that joint, keeping the hips as level. This is not so easy, keeping the hips level and doing circles. As though there was like a headlight on that knee and you're trying to draw circles in the light on the wall. Go the other way. I'm not sure that made sense, but you know what I mean. Nice circles. Other knee. Again, lifting, doing some circles. checking that your hips are level. Slow circles one way, then going the other way. And coming to center, let's shake it out. Couple of more. Now we're going to do fire hydrants, which is where you lift the one leg knee up to the side and down. Again, checking your hips if they're nice and level. And down. Up. Exhale down. Let's try to do 5, but do as many as you can. If you can't do 5, do whatever. If you can do 5, then maybe do 10 the next day, or 6. Other leg. Building strength here. Lift. Checking that the back is level. And down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Shake it out. Little wiggles. One more. Lifting the right leg up so that the knee is in line with the hip and the foot is flexed and pointed towards the sky. We're going to do some donkey kicks. So just kicking up and then back down to level. Up. Down to level. We're not bringing the knee the whole way to the floor, just down to level with the hips. Kick up. Level. 2 more. Up. Exhale. Inhale and down. Good work. Other side. Inhale, flex that foot. Knee in line with the hips. Straight there, flatten the hips so that you can get that glass of water up there and not spill it. Do about 5 here on this side. Lift. Lift. Okay, and down. Let's spread the knees, come into chow or on the back, whichever works for you with whatever modifications. If you need a brick under your forehead, and let's just relax a bit here and breathe. Checking that your shoulders are relaxed and your jaw, there's space between your teeth. The face is relaxed. Relax the hips. Jiggle them around a little bit. Now, if you'd like to do a little staying in this pose, interlocking the fingers behind the back. And then as it is available to you, lifting the arms straight behind the back. If it's available, again, this might be good. This might not work for your body, but just lifting them as high as is comfortable to get a nice stretch and opening in the front of the chest, in the shoulders. Make sure when you're doing this, you're not tensing your jaw, and then relax. Then whichever thumb is on top of the grip, change your grip so the other thumb is now on top. Do the other side. And you don't have to do this, but if this is a nice stretch for you, then feel free and breathe. Release the hands, shrug your shoulders, and take a couple more breaths. When you're ready, let's slide the hands forward, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Tuck our toes and come into downward facing dog. And let's walk our dog, stretch out our hamstrings. Pressing those hips up to the sky. Making sure your fingers are nice and wide, with the 2s and the 3s pointed towards the front of the mat. Shake your head yes and no, release the neck. And you can wiggle from side to side if you'd like. Now, if you'd like, taking the right arm, threading it through and bringing the right arm now over to the left hip. Relax your head. I'm now looking underneath my left arm. And you can gently, if you'd like, give yourself a little twist here in the lumbar region, a lower twist, if it feels comfortable. You can also slide the hand down maybe to your ankle. And with a little gentle pressure there, it's a little deeper of this twist. Be careful. And release. Then the other side. Now my left hand comes to my right hip. Just a little gentle pressure looking underneath that armpit. Gentle twist. And if it's available, sliding the hand down now to the ankle. A little deeper twist. And release. Bend the knees. And let's walk the feet to the front of the mat, coming into our forward folded Tanasana, and release the head. Hands on a brick, or bend the knees as much as needed so that you can support the body with your hands. Sways back and forth here. And when you're ready, bring your hands to your hips. Press through the heels, hinge from the hips. Engage in your core and come up to seated. Now coming into our mountain pose today, let's grab a brick and your belt and come to the wall. Bringing the brick between your thighs as high up in the body as you can get it. And I'm bringing my body against the wall. My heels are touching the wall. Obviously, my feet are about a brick width apart because that's where the brick is. And let's undo your belt if you've still got a loop in there and put it around your neck and just leave it there. Now, we've done Tadasana before, which is our mountain pose, working on our posture, aligning the heels, the hips, the shoulders, and the head. And the wall gives us additional feedback. So that bringing the head back to the wall, the hips are touching, heels are touching, and then begin to notice the shoulders. Are you able to bring the shoulders back so that they touch the wall? Relax your jaw here. We don't want to force it. If your shoulders don't touch the wall, that's fine, but this is just information. If they're not, then we want to work on that. Opening that chest. Strengthening those muscles between the shoulder blades and gently pulling them back. Now squeezing the brick helps us to engage our core as well. Let's take the belt now and we're going to make another loop. This time we only want the loop to be about shoulder width. So again, through 2, back through 1. And then tighten the belt so that it's about a little less than shoulder width. And putting my arms through it. Bringing my arms up now in front of me. And pressing out against the belt. Bringing the arms back in so that the shoulders, the bones are in the shoulder joints. Release the jaw, but make sure your jaw is level with the floor. Sort of an isometric, some isometric work on our bodies to work on the posture in this mountain pose. When you're ready, let's bring the arms up over the head. If you can bring them to the wall, that's fine. If they don't, just wherever. Again, keeping the pressure against the belt. Bringing the arms back down into their sockets, but now reaching up through the sides of the body. Eyes are forward. Stillness in line with the floor, parallel with the floor. And finding space in the side of the body. So I know this is like one of those rub your belly and pat the top of your head. Squeezing the brick. Keeping engaged with the wall, and now trying to find some space in the rib cage and in the spine. And breathing. And when you're ready, release the arms, Drop the belt to the side. Now, and let's just take a moment, close your eyes, and just noticing how your body feels. Maybe feeling a little bit more energy, a little bit more length, space, maybe just awareness of your posture and what your goals might be. And you can release. And we're going to talk about a very important core muscle today called the psoas. And I have a little drawing here just to make it easier to visualize. The psoas is a big muscle, I think it could be at least a foot long, maybe longer, that connects basically your legs with your lumbar spine. And it's very important. Obviously, it comes up through the pelvis, goes very deep into the pelvis, obviously, to connect back to the spine. So it is, unfortunately, the cause of a lot of back pain, and it's very hard to get to. Is not always diagnosed as this cause of pain in the lower back. So we're going to do a couple of things today to help us find that muscle and stretch it, because as with everything, with all the sitting that we do, and it tends to get tight and shorten, and then it pulls on the back, and there you go. Okay. So coming to the front of the mat, and I'm going to use both bricks here. I'm going to step back and come into a lunge. So my left leg is down on the mat, and I'm using my bricks on their high side for support. My legs are about hip width apart, and my knee is forward of my ankle. So I'm coming into a lunge and releasing the pelvis, looking forward, keeping the chin level, and I'm just letting that pelvis settle in to the lunge, finding that nice stretch in the groin area there. Lengthening the tailbone here, almost so that you feel that the pelvic bone in the front is rotating up towards your rib cage. In other words, we don't want to pooch out the hips in the back. And breathe here. Now, if you have knee issues and this doesn't work for you, you can, I'll show you very quickly, stay in your lunge. But those of you who can't tolerate that pressure on your knee, you can just come onto your back and pull the leg up towards the outside of your body, bringing the knee up towards your shoulder, and find the stretch there. When you're ready, let's straighten that front leg now and lift the toes off the mat. I'm bringing my bricks back to about shoulder level, and I'm just going to find a stretch now in the back of the leg, hamstring, also in the glutes. Gazes forward and breathe. And you control the amount of stretch you want here. And then let's walk the bricks back, finding that lunge again in the front, letting the pelvis come into the lunge. Now this time we're going to tuck the toes, and this will really help us to find that psoas muscle. If it is available to you, and you can use your bricks here, we're going to lift that back leg so that the knee is off the floor. Continue to allow the pelvis to come down into the lunge. This is a little strong, so just do what feels comfortable. If you can't lift the back leg, then just keep it down. But lifting that leg really helps you to feel that muscle that's coming at the psoas. If you'd like, you can bring the hands to the knees and breathe. Or just use the bricks, that's fine as well. And then release. Now, throughout the week, as you're practicing that, you want to try to hold that a little longer each time, add another breath, and continue to build strength and stretching of that muscle. Moving the blocks to the side for a moment. I have my right leg forward, so I'm going to take my left arm and put the hand down a little wide and in front of the foot. reaching up with my other arm. I'm going to reach up to the sky and then thread the arm under the other one. Just doing a little twist here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. I don't remember if that was 5, but let's say it is. Okay. Then let's come up and bring your, keeping your right leg still where it is, and bring my right arm, forearm onto the thigh, still in my lunge. I'm going to reach over my head and then back, sort of like a rainbow, foot to foot. Rainbow. Rainbow. You can also do, if you'd like, over to one side and then open. So I'm moving more horizontally with the arm.
Lawn sprinkler.
Larry just said lawn sprinkler. I guess it depends what kind of sprinkler. But yes, we're just working the upper spine here. And down. Let's bring our bricks back to the front. Rest of that front heel, come into our forward fold. Jiggle your legs. I felt that. Strong. Again, baby steps, do what's comfortable each day, maybe work up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take a nice step back, straighten the toe, coming into our lunge, holding onto your bricks, and adjusting your foot position so that making sure your knee is forward of your foot and finding that stretch in the groin, wherever that is, and breathe. Chin level with the floor, gaze is forward. Again, lengthening the tailbone in the back, feeling like you're rolling that front pelvic bone up towards the rib cage, allowing the pelvis to lean up, to release into the stretch. And when you're ready, now let's walk the bricks back as before, straightening the front leg, lifting the toes, finding your stretch, letting the hips come back, and then just finding that stretch in the hamstrings here. The more you lift the toes, the stronger the stretch. And then let's come forward again, finding our lunge, releasing the pelvis into the lunge. And when you're ready, or if it's available, tucking the toes, lifting that back leg, finding that stretch in this area, and releasing the pelvis into it. If you'd like, bringing the hands to the knee, a little stronger here. And when you're ready, pressing through that front heel, coming, oh, we forgot our twist, sorry about that. Let's drop the back knee, sorry. This time we're going to drop the bricks, bring the right hand to the front and wide of the other foot. Again, now reaching with the left arm, threading it under, reaching up, reaching up. I'm just doing a few of these. And then bringing the right or left forearm onto the left thigh. Again, reaching, doing the rainbow movement with the arm. Back, forward, back. Exhale, and then maybe side to side. This feels like a good stretch for you. Horizontally. I mean, you can just sort of play with this and what feels good to your body. Combination of that. And then coming to center, grab your bricks. Now press through the back toe and your front heel. Come to our forward fold. Shake out the legs, release the head, drop the bricks. Bend the knees, hands to the floor. Shake out those hips. And when you're ready, engaging your core, hands to hips, press through the heels and hinging up to standing. Shake it all out. That's lovely stretches. Good work. Okay. Now, if you have trouble with the lunges, even like that, there's some alternatives here that I'm going to show you that are good, whether you have trouble with your knees or not. So bringing a brick to the wall, and I have it on the shoebox side, the lowest side. And I'm going to step on the brick with my big toe up on the wall. I'm going to bring the other brick. Hopefully you have a solid wall. I don't right here, but I'm going to bring the brick between my front knee and the wall. So I'm providing support. Your hands on the wall. We're going to take a nice step back. Feet are about hip width apart this way, and my back foot is angled to the side. Bringing your hands to the window, to the wall, hopefully. Anyway. Okay, and pressing through the fingers, opening up the chest. Finding here, again, that stretch in the psoas. And just play with it till you feel it. I certainly do. And one side is always tighter than the other. If you'd like, raising the arms. And again, pulling them down into the socket, but raise the sides of the rib cage, finding space. Chin is level with the floor. Relax the face. And breathe. And then bringing the hands back down to the wall. Now keeping the front leg against the wall, we're going to hobble the back foot around now, and it's now going to be at a 90-degree angle. And it's going to be in line with the heel, so that the heel in the front is in line with the arch of my back foot. So now that the legs are in line. So I was standing on a tightrope or something. Okay. Hips are now facing more towards the side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Lower the wall side arm so that the forearm is on the thigh. Let this hip jut out and reach with the other arm to the wall. Pressing through the back leg, through those toes for support, and reaching with the arm, finding your stretch. Bad breathe. And when you're ready, release the arm. Now, to get out of this, hold on to the brick that's at your knee, turn the wall foot forward and step out of it. Shake it out. We're going to do the other side now. It's a little harder for me to see. So now I'm going to take my other foot, toe against the wall, foot on the brick, big step back. Feet are about hip width apart. Back foot is angled, and now I'm going to put the brick between my knee and the wall. Hands come to the wall, rolling those, elongating the tailbone, and then rolling the front pelvis as though you're zipping up your jeans. That's the feeling you want there, zipping up the jean zipper, and finding that length through the tailbone. Hands come to the wall, open up the shoulders. Press through that back pinky toe for support, and breathe. Gazes forward. And if you'd like, raising the arms now to the sky, finding that psoas as you release and let the pelvis relax into the pose. And breathe. Bring it back down to the wall. Taking the brick with your other hand, turn that foot, and then step off the brick. Now, if you're having trouble finding a stretch there, increase the angle, the length between the feet, and just play with that until you find that stretch. All right. Let's come to the floor. Grab your bricks, or at least one of them. A little bit of ab strengthening here. Gonna lay down onto the back. Enjoy that for just a second. It feels good. And then I'm going to take the brick and I'm going to put it between my left knee and my left elbow. My headpiece keeps falling out here, so and I'm using the pressure between my elbow and my knee to hold the brick. Now I'm scooping that belly so the small back is on the floor, bringing the other knee and elbow up now, and maintaining that connection of the small of the back with the floor. I'm going to reach with my arm behind my head and kick out with the leg. Now only going as far, and then back in, only going as far as you can, maintaining the connection with the small of the back against the floor. And breathing. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. Try to do 5 here. Try to build up this week to 10 on each side if you can. Then let's switch. Now we're going to put it in the other, between the other elbow and knee. Bring the other elbow and knee up above and in line with the other one. And exhale, reach. Inhale, touch, keeping the small back. In line with the floor, or on the floor rather. Inhale, reach. Gauge your core here. This is what we're working on. Reach. 1 more. And touch. Very good. Take the brick over to the side. Let's lift our hips up. Give them a little shimmy. Rolling onto your side. Onto the forearm, onto your forearm, and extending your leg. Now you can bend the bottom leg here if you'd like and extend the top leg. I'm spreading out my fingers for support and leaning into my hand. My elbows under my shoulder. Inhale, I'm going to lift up from the hips and hold. Side plank. Now, if you'd like to take this deeper, you can stack the legs and lift the hips. Side plank. Engage your core here. Open the shoulder and breathe. And down. Now, throughout the week, maybe try to do 3 at a time, a couple of breaths holding each one, and then maybe working up to holding up to a half a minute on each side or longer, up to a minute to build strength. So we're going to do the other side. So rolling over into your other side, elbows under your shoulder, fingers are spread wide, and I'm leaning into that hand. Either the bottom leg bent or straight. Lift the hip and the arm to the sky and breathe. Inhale. If you have to come down for a rest, that's fine. Come back up. Try to do a few. And down. Now rolling over onto our bellies, coming into a little bit of more back work, laying on the floor with your hands at your side, with your hands by your shoulders. Head is on the floor, feet are about hip width apart, and my toes are they're extended. Inhale, we're going to lift the head and the hands, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades behind the back. So the belly and my pelvis are on the floor. I'm just lifting and squeezing and looking forward and then down. A great back strengthening exercise. This is Cobra. It's actually baby Cobra. Inhale, lift the hands and the head, looking forward, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze between those shoulder blades. The more you squeeze, the more we're working them. And exhale down. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift the head. The hands, spread the fingers wide as though you're trying to pull those pinkies back to the back of the body. Squeeze between the shoulder blades and down. Take a breath here. Now moving on to locust, we're going to lift the feet off the floor and then the head and the hands. Take a resting breath. On your next inhale, let's lift the feet off the floor. They don't have to be up very high, just lift the feet. Bring the hands, the shoulders, and the head off the mat. Squeeze the whole length now of the spine, working all the paraspinal muscles. Breathe, 2 breaths, and down. Again, inhale, feet off, hands, shoulders, head. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze your buttocks between the shoulder blades, everything. Squeeze everything. And then down. Let's do one more. Inhale with the feet, arms, or hands, shoulders, and head. Squeeze, 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 and breathe. 2 breaths. Maybe a little higher. And exhale down. Very good. Shake the hips a little bit. Now let's press through the hands and come into chow. Spread your knees wide. We'll just do a little counter pose here on the back. Couple of breaths. Hands can be forward or around the side of your legs, whatever's comfortable. On your next inhale, let's come up. Okay, good. And let's sit down and bring a brick to your side and back onto your backs. Knees are bent, feet are about hip width apart. Lift the hips and let's put the brick flat side or shoebox side down under the sacrum. Again, remember that's the flat part between your hip bones. Nice and supported there. Bring your hands to the side with your palms down for support. One at a time, bring one leg up over, then the other leg up over. And just scooch around there, find a comfortable position. Make sure you're supported, and when you're ready, extend the feet. This is a lovely just relaxation pose, letting the blood and everything else flow the other way for a while. We can do some fun work with feet. We can point and flex, point, flex, point, flex. We can spread out those toes as wide as you possibly can and then squeeze them. Spread, squeeze. And we can do some ankle rolls one way and then the other way. And then finally, let's just bring them together, close the eyes, and just take 3, 4, 5 breaths here and relax. This is Viparita Karani. Another couple breaths here. And then just slowly come out of this position, bend your knees, keep the knees up over the body until the feet are down by the hips. Then slowly one foot comes down to the mat, and the other foot comes down to the mat. Press through your hips, lift them up, press through your feet rather, lift the hips, and remove your grip. Let's bring the knees up into the chest. Again, a little Apanasana, interlock the fingers in front of the knees. And just do some circles here. Release one leg, keep the other leg bent, and kick out that heel, gently pulling that knee towards your, I have my right knee bent, so I'm pulling my knee towards my right shoulder, the outside of the body. Just a little stretch here. And then the other leg rather, kicking out the right leg, stretching the left. And then bringing both legs in again. So both knees are over my torso. And I'm going to just let the knees fall to the side with my hands on the inside of the knees, just holding them here. Just a nice little stretch yet again in the groin area. And ready. You can bring the legs down. Stretch above the head. Kick both legs out, the heels. Final stretch as we get ready for our Shavasana. Closing the eyes. Arms at your side. Checking the feet. They're relaxed. Falling to the side. Checking the legs and the hips. Jiggling them a little bit, making sure you're not holding any tension there. Release the lower back, maybe straightening the skin under the glutes. So the small back and release. Allowing the shoulders to fall heavily into the earth. Palms upright, receptive, relaxed. Check the chin, face, relax the tongue, relax the eyes. Come to the breath. Rest and relax. Returning now to the awareness of the breath. Gently moving the fingertips, toes, moving the head from side to side. And bending the knees. Let's roll over onto our right side. Take a moment here. Get the eyes closed, just a second. And when you're ready, press yourself up. Please see the position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Bringing your hands to your heart, returning to the intention if you set one at the beginning of class. And permeating it with the energy and the light of your practice today, and then radiating that light out to the world. Have a lovely week. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. And just a word that next week is our last class. This is a short semester. So if there's anything, I'll have a class prepared, of course, but if there's anything you'd like me to revisit or that you especially enjoyed or felt benefit from, feel free to shoot me a note as well. If you're having any issues with anything, let me know and I'll try to help.
Namaste, Robin.
Namaste.
Thank you, Rob.
Take care.